While I was cleaning it out, I put the books that were still salvageable on shelves in the front so I could take them home later. A few ponies saw the books on the shelves through the window and thought the library was open, and I was still avoiding any confrontation, so I just went with it and let them check out the books. Apparently, when the library passed on, the ponies of the town took all the books in the library home, and now that they thought it was open, were returning them.
Okay, one thing while we're on this page.
Yeah.
Dianetics. Somebody had Dianetics. Oh, good grief.
Yeah.
Not really sure what that means, but okay.
It's Scientology.
Oh.
Or it looks like DNA genetics. So
Yeah, I
it's
think
not
that's...
exactly it, but yeah. The joke is obvious.
Yeah.
Uh,
I didn't have any particular talent for books, but you don't need to be talented at something to love it. Soon every pony knew me as the librarian instead of a comedian, and I was okay with that. They planned to sell the library. The plan to sell the library fell through, so I was free to keep being the librarian. I think that was the moment I started to view Ponyville as my new home. You gonna read the
Yeah, that's about to start. A lot of my old identity was wrapped up in my comedy, but I felt a different kind of satisfaction working as a librarian. It wasn't the high life of before, but it certainly eased the pain.
I loved being the librarian, but it didn't come with any pay because no pony had actually hired me to be the librarian. Working part-time jobs so I could keep running the library, I was wearing myself out. On my next trip to Canterlot to get the seal on the killer joke checked out, I mentioned this situation to my supervisors, who pulled a few strings on my behalf. The position of Royal Toponymist, that's basically studier of place names, had sat idle for decades, obscure with few responsibilities. No pony had seriously applied for it since it became open. It was originally supposed to be a cover position, but no pony expected how well I'd actually perform the duties. A job that was supposed to be for show turned out to be the only one I was incredibly qualified for. The position didn't pay much, but it had a large expenses stipend that I used to fix up and populate the library with material. Since studying is a huge part of the job, my hobby as librarian and my job as toponymist fit.
Though the Royal Guard operate with extensive formality, the Night Guard tend to operate behind the scenes where practical. It didn't take much leverage to arrange a government position for me.
It was through the library I made most of my friends. When I first saw Sunshine Morning come into the library, I thought it was Evershine until I saw the cutie mark. It brought back a painful memory, but I worked up the nerve to talk to her. She's very similar to Evershine, so full of positive energy. She runs a cafe and coffee shop down the street, so we have lunch together once the lunch rush is over. I was really nervous when I was first talking to her, and she later told me that she could tell from when she met me that I really needed a friend, and she was right. As for Rubik, he grew up in Canterlot and recognized me from the posters. I was really nervous that he'd make a big deal of it, but all he said was, "I see I'm not the only refugee from Canterlot culture." We quickly became friends after that. My days in Ponyville were happy ones. I had a source of pride, friends I could count on, and a place to call home. Then the fated Nightmare Moon incident flipped over my newly built life.
This was the happiest time in my recent memory. Meeting new friends and making connections while providing a valuable service to the town was the bandage my heart needed.
I was in Canterlot getting the seal checked at the time of the Nightmare Moon incident. We made all haste to Ponyville to confirm the situation. While I'd been gone for just a few days, The favorite student of Celestia had moved into the library. I returned just in time to hear the royal proclamation that she would live in Ponyville and thus in my library. I had to move my stuff out of the back room quickly to avoid a confrontation on the issue, as the Night Guards have a policy never to directly opposing a decree from Princess Celestia. Fortunately, Rubik is the kind of friend who doesn't ask questions when asked for a favor. He simply helped me sneak the rest of my stuff from the library. With the housing stipend no longer needed for the library, I could afford to move into a nice home in town. It wasn't my library, but a few dozen bookshelves later, and it at least resembled it. I hadn't forgotten about my past, though, and I take my duties as Night Guard very seriously. We still haven't caught who made the scroll with the killer joke, and other copies of it are still probably out there. Someday, I'll be a part of bringing justice to those responsible for the Evershine and the other victims of the killer joke. And that day will be no laughing matter.
Without this library, I focused more on my night guard duties and picked up extra assignments. Now I keep tabs on the unusual and uniquely talented ponies in and around Ponyville as potential resources for the Night Guard. What if the main six were blades? Hit it hard enough, it'll work. Applejack.
Aren't I crazy?
Pinkie Pie. Fluttershy, I'll be useful in the forest.
Rainbow Dash, so fast you won't see me coming.
Look at my graceful curves.
Rarity. Twilight Sparkle. Hang on, I'm not ready yet. At least those six are usually good about getting their point across. Quick, Pun Pony's in danger. Deploy armor battle suit.
So the suit makes her turn gray?
Apparently.
It's probably just like a body suit thing,
Okay.
like those full body suits.
This is the Night Guard armor I keep hidden at home. It is light scout armor, as my primary duty is to keep the seal on the killer joke safe. While lacking the shielding of full Night Guard armor, it changes my coat and main colors when worn to protect my identity in a crisis situation. See? I explain it.
Ah. What would you think about making dirty pun?
I asked Kinkie Pie about getting dirty for Anonymous. I can't do those sorts of things in front of an audience. Sorry.
When it comes to advice about getting dirty, Kinkie Pie has well-researched answers to your questions. You should check her out at Ask Kinkie Pie. NSFW.
Too bad that blog is dead.
Yes. Why'd we go all the way across town to eat when you run a cafe?
It's nice to be the customer instead of the boss sometimes. Sunshine Morning and I went to check out one of the many great cafes of Ponyville. This one is the Summer Song Cafe at Ask Merryweather. Miss Merryweather used to be a guard pony, but now raises her son and manages the cafe, along with the usual adventures of life in Ponyville. Please, go check her out. Wink.
Hey man, we should totally hotbox sometime.
But my hotbox is broken. So he's not talking about the oven?
Lefty Lucy's an inventor in Ponyville, but inventions don't always pay the bills, so she helps out with mechanical contraptions in need of service. Turns out her services weren't quite needed this time. You can check her out over at Ask Lefty Lucy. Hello, how are you?
Well, Daniel the Hedgehog, when a stallion and a mare love each other very much.
Ask a simple question, get a complex answer. Why, yes, I'm a government employee. Why do you ask?
It's so true. Sebastian, I heard you got your armor detailed, but it's still there.
What's still there?
The tail!
You're lucky crimes against language aren't punishable under the law.
Boing. Bastion and his crew are some of my favorite gods at the palace. Go check them out over at Ask for Inept God Ponies. Recording.
I think that's a stallion.
Yeah. Is it on? Hey, buddy, is it on?
Yeah, it's on Doodleback.
Welcome to Ask Ween. Filling in for your pun for a few days out of the goodness of my heart.
You mean the goodness of your wallet?
That too.
It's time for another business trip to Canterlot, so I got a certain crazy pony out of the forest to answer questions from the backlog for the next few days. Ween and Rat can normally be found over at a gosh darn Everfree Rat.
Isn't there supposed to be a...
You see a refrigerator rolling down a hill. What do you do?
Hooray, a question. Take all the food from it, so it weighs less, and thus it isn't as dangerous.
Hi, anywhere in Ponyville that is awesome practical jokes.
There's a great place for that, deep in the forest. Just keep going till you can't see the sun anymore and find the empty-looking village.
It's time for another... Okay, that's the same thing. Do you have a partner that helps you make jokes? Or do you run solo?
I've got Rat. He's my bestest bud. He's working that camera thingy.
I hate you so much. Which could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck pickles?
None. I saved the precious pickles from the evil woodchuck.
If Pun was a dog, which would she be?
The small, annoying, yappy kind that tastes good with ketchup. I have to agree with him there.
How do you shoot a blue elephant?
Lots and lots of times. Same thing.
Finally found this realm out of the 37 other portals that opened. So then, what do you get when realm jumping?
Proof that I'm the best looking one out there.
How long is 1 meter candle?
A meter longer than my candle.
There is something I've always wondered. What do ponies raise pigs for?
Bacon.
Ever tried getting on the stand-up circuit?
It was great. Free tomatoes. Why am I going with a snake voice?
He looks like a snake.
No, I meant the snake from the Simpsons. The only criminal in the Simpsons.
What's your idea of the perfect vacations?
Oh, you can eat buffet. Okay, I have to agree with him there.
What do you prefer more, Pop-Tart for cereal?
Yes, please.
Do you know any pickup lines?
Who needs pickup lines when you've got a body like this?
This is the perfect character for Maid Rock.
Indeed.
Sadly, yes. We should do it sometime. The blog, I mean. This has been lots of fun, and Miss Pun was nice to let me host it.
She's not gonna pay you more if you kiss her flank, idiot. Thank you to Ween and Rat for helping me with your questions. I'll be back tomorrow. Weed and rat can normally be found over at a gosh darn every rat.
Oh, that was fun.
How do you get around Ponyville?
You'll have to ask a city planner. Ponyville is trapezoidal, not round.
Maybe if you cut some buildings off the edges, you could get around Ponyville, but the trapezoidal shape works because the railroad and the farm positions.
Hey, what would what would be the weather like if Pinkie was princess?
A rain of chocolate.
The Pinkie Pie apocalypse. The river shall run red with strawberry milk.
I gotta admit, chocolate milk is nice and all until it starts to smell rancid.
Ugh.
That's pretty much most milk. It's fine until
I know,
it's good until it goes bad.
I know, but raining regular milk is boring.
So are you.
Shut up.
Moving on.
Do you think the movies are real?
Is this real life? Is this just fantasy?
A little musical number with Movie Slate. Check out the Filmtastic proprietor of fine filmography over at Ask Movie Slate.
I think your cutie mark is really a plot line.
I guess it's time to hit the gym more often.
At least it's not a wrinkle. I'm far too young to have wrinkles.
I'll raise you 10.
Pardon us, but we are going to the restroom. I fold. Why would our departure to the lavatory cause you to fold? Isn't it obvious? You're about to have a royal flush.
I fold.
How do you know my cards?
Even Adamant and Westwood can loosen up a bit for the occasional game with the royalty. You can see my handlers in the Night Guard over at Ask the Night Guards.
Crying pun is heartbreaking. Make it stop. Oh, make it stop. Have you ever used crocodile tears to get your way before this?
No, they're just too hard to harvest.
I need to get some sad movies and try again.
I'm Zicky. Want to join our tragic the garnering club?
I already deal with tragic garnering every April 15th.
I'm better at least one of you read this, went, oh no, that's today, and went frantically searching for some paperwork. Pegasi named after their mode of travel.
Rainbow Dash.
Fluttershy.
Drift.
Raindrops.
With special guest appearances by Frigid Drift and Raindrops. Go check them out.
Say, Pirate Dash. Why do metric pirates get all the mares?
I don't know.
The English Standard Pirate walked up and yard, while the metric pirate walked up and meet her.
Wow. Painful.
Pirate Dash likes to think she's my rival in development of military-grade puns. I prefer to think of her as my apprentice. If you're a fan of my adventures, you should also check out Ask Pirate Dash.
I'll dub. Wow. I just made Brad sound hillbilly. I dub the film fiction.
Rather unusual name for a military vessel.
Yes, but it has infinite headcanons.
Rarity has a rather dual nature. She's able to blend into the social norms of both the Canterlot elite and the Ponyville folk. I think she's limiting herself if she thinks that her special talent is simply finding gems. Say, you be thinking that Captain Rainbow Dash be some sort of second fiddle to you, Scatterwag.
This pirate not to be one, not one to be to sit back. I be the type to take. Oh, that's still her.
Yeah.
This pirate. Well, since you're reading Pun's subtext, this pirate not be one to sit back. I be the type to take charge. I be the best at everything, and I challenge ye to a duel, a pun duel. Yar. Thank you very much for the shout out today, Pun. But you ticked off PD, especially in the middle of her shipping war. You're hardly a beauty like me. The only shipping ponies do with you is involve cargo transport.
Oh, snap. Your move, Pirate Dash. And my reading voice for the subtitles is slowly becoming Dan Green. It's time to duel. Shut up, Merrick.
How's the prank war with Princess Celestia going?
It's going great. I'm on my way to pick up some supplies right now. One can of paint thinner, please. Censored.
If it was put there magically, then I'd have had an easy time getting it off. But no, somehow she managed to get it actually painted on my flank.
Wow, go Princess Celestia.
Yeesh, why don't you take a chill pill?
I can't feel my everything.
Relax, Tumblr. The pun war between myself and Pirate Dash is just for fun. Really? That's you be starting with? You really think the only shipping with me be in a cardboard box and such? I guess ye not be aware of my lifestyle here, or ye be upset that ye humor not be leaving all the ponies in stitches.
Which sinks faster, your vessels or your relationships?
Round 2 begins in the Pun vs. Pirate Dash Pun War. And before you think I'm being mean, remember she started it. If you want to get about 20% more puns in your daily intake, you can check out the pony who thinks she's my pun rival, but more like my pun apprentice, and ask Pirate Dash.